And is there a certain amount of, because a lot of couples fall into this trap of sort of fake comparison, whether it's social media or movies, where we think, okay, if we're not having sex 3 times a week, something's wrong. I need to raise it. We need to argue about it. We need to fix it. Is there any merit to the quantity resulting in, happiness?
No. No relationship between quantity and happiness. The quality, yes.
Well, with the caveat, that if you have 2 people paired together, one who is extremely sexual and, really does need sex frequently, and the other one, the opposite.
Asexual.
Who is more asexual and, could take it or leave it, wants sex maybe once a month.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
One of the things me and my friends have been deliberating about is the importance of what we call desire management, which is if someone is like around too much and they're there every second of every day in the house, when I get home, everywhere, does that not to some degree start to kill the desire a little bit? One of the best things that I think I found in my relationship is that my partner's always working away, then I'm working away. And so when we see each other, it feels special and interesting. But I personally don't know that if we were both in the house 7 days a week and I worked from home with her, whether the desire would be the same. I don't know.
I think that, for example, John and I are around each other 7 days a week, and we have been for, most of our marriage, but it doesn't matter.
Is that because of my attachment style, maybe? Because, I wondered if...
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
I need a lot of solitude.
Yeah.
But you are around each other.
Yeah.
But you're around each other most of the time.
Well, we are, but in a house where there's enough space in the house to not be in visual contact with the other person all the time.
Right.
You see, so he's downstairs, I may be upstairs, something like that. Or I can maybe hear him, maybe not. He can hear me, maybe not. So
I think there is something wonderful about being apart and then coming together. That reunion after you've been apart for a while is really quite delicious.
You know what, though? This is so interesting. I am working with an individual right now, and they're both artists. They both travel a whole bunch all the time. And whenever they reunite after one of them is gone, nothing. There's nothing for about 2 or 3 days, and then they have to get into the same rhythm again.
Someone said to me on this podcast, they said, you have to spend 90 minutes a week talking to your partner. And if you don't, and the person actually said to me, if you don't get that into your dumb skull, you'll be spending much more time with them in divorce court.
Oh,
and
wow.
I know it was a brash thing to say, but I reflected on it and it really helped me because I don't know, I'm speaking as a man, so I can't speak for all men, I can't speak for women, but speaking as a man myself and also on behalf of my friends with my own attachment style, I think that's important to add. I struggle naturally with conflict resolution because conflict resolution to me sounds like blame. So when my partner says we need to talk, I'm like, oh my fucking God, what have I done now? Like,
that's right.
What have I done now? And I sit there like I feel like it's a kid in school being told off by their headmaster or a child being told off by their mother. I'm like, go on, tell me all the ways that I'm inadequate. But the framing of this idea of you're going to have to spend 90 minutes a week sitting with each other and talking regardless helped me because he then went on to say, because if you do that, then you can get to play.
Well, I think here's my invention. I have a notebook in my back pocket.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
And it's just designed for when Julie says we need to talk. And I take out the notebook and a pen, and I say, okay, talk to me. I'm taking notes. I want to know what's going on. And she'll tell me I'm disappointed in you or angry. I mean, whatever she says, I write it down and reflect it back and see if I understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
And so I think it's not just 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes when you're willing to listen non-defensively.
Which is Not easy.
That's not easy. That's really the work in relationships, is being non-defensive.
But that's why we wrote Fight Right, you know, and when we gave, you know, a talk, it's really so important to not do that you.
Blaming thing.
That blaming. It's, you know, I feel about what's the situation, not, you know, the way you failed me.